Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. Happy New Year!
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody.
This is Is it technically the second video of the New Year?
No, this is the first video.
Okay, because it went up before midnight on Tuesday.
This is true.
Okay, so there we go. First video of the New Year. This is our weekly recap for the week of the 2nd of January 2020. The current character challenge is Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman, and that's a 1-week repeat. The required characters are Aquaman, Cyborg, and Superman, who you can get at Challenge Gold, Bronze, and Gold. So not the easiest challenge to complete just because of Aquaman and Challenge Gold. Right. That always makes it a little bit harder for new players to get their copies.
I mean, technically, you can also get it as a multiplayer gold, but if you don't have it, doesn't help you. There's nowhere to really access it now if you don't have it.
Yeah. Her passive is Sword of Athena, which makes Wonder Woman's special attacks trigger team health gain, which provides 50% of the special attacks damage in healing. She's got decently high stats skewed towards health, with 1100 attack and 1400 health. And from our notes, last available around May 2019?
Yep.
So it's been a little while, but not too long.
So what's funny...
Earlier last year.
I guess so, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to screw that up for
the next little bit, yeah.
For the next little bit. So what's interesting, I mean, that wasn't when she was first introduced, but around the same time that they were introduced, there were two skins of Wonder Woman that were released. It was Dawn of Justice and Justice League Wonder Woman, but Justice League is now renamed New 52 Wonder Woman, and both of them had a passive that helped your teammates that triggered with their specials. So Dawn of Justice, which we're seeing, gives teammates health, and New 52 gave them power.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been following us for any length of time, you'll know which one we favored. We even had a team that carried both of them, and we called it a guy, two girls, and a pizza place. Or was that the other version?
I don't remember.
Two Supermen. So there's a link in the video, in the top right corner in the description. So it was New 52 Superman, New 52 Wonder Woman, Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman. That was our first attempt at a Justice League team. Mm-hmm. But with our style of play, giving health is just too defensive. So we eventually replaced Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman with Injustice 2 Aquaman in our Justice League team, and that's the version that you'll see us use during our weekly P and Q and C and A and T videos.
Yeah, so worth picking up, but not huge if you have to miss out on her, especially if you can't get her because of Aquaman.
Right.
This week's multiplayer award is the Batmobile, which becomes the Militarized Batmobile, which starts out with, or I'm just going to read out what you end up with, which is 25% max health increase, Batman-specific ability, 20% super move damage increase, an evolved effect for just Batman, 100% area effect, opponent's team takes 20 to 25% damage from your super move, and another evolved ability, again just for Batman, which is 100% chance of 3 to 5 seconds of invulnerability after your super move is activated. So if you're counting, that's 3 Batman-specific abilities, and 25% max health for everyone else.
Yeah, I think it might have been last run September 2018. The problem is always that searching through our notes, there's potentially gaps when we were away.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't many, but definitely it was September 2018, and I think I could easily make an argument why this is one of the worst legendary gears ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's start with the fact that when it's fully evolved, there's only one ability for anybody who's not Batman.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
And it's just health, which for us is extra awful.
And it's not even the most health, because there's a 25% health boost. So, all right, so it's higher than any of the non-legendary gears. 3.5-star gears will give you up to 22% boost. But the legendary gears, Brandish Ninjato gives you 40%. Batman's helmet gives you 40%. Fourth World Chestplate gives you 40%. You know, you get the picture, right?
Yeah.
And the counter-argument might be that, well, there are a lot more Batman skins than anybody else, so there are a lot of cards that could take advantage of all the Batman abilities, which is true, but then when you look at the abilities, see, all 3 of the other effects are related to super move.
Yeah.
And
they're not even great.
That's right.
They're okay.
But it's sort of, I mean, here's the thing. When multiplayer was first introduced, when the game was first released, the super move was actually useful. There was some value in hoarding and accumulating 3 bars of power instead of doing a special 1 or special 2 because it was unblockable.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be full damage. Then when multiplayer was introduced, the mechanic changed, and supers, which were up until then unblockable, they could be defended.
Yeah, and in some ways that makes them even worse than normal specials because you might get slightly less blocked in terms of percent, But the fact that you get to block it no matter what, like you don't have to be blocking to trigger the blocking.
Right, you get to decide after the fact.
Yeah, the defense mini game, right? You get that no matter what.
Right. So the damage you could get out of a super was less than the damage you could get from a special 2, which cost 1 bar less. Mm-hmm. And even if it was completely undefended, the amount of damage per bar of power is still less than a special 2 because a super never crits, but a special 2 can.
Yeah.
So in that context, so then we look at those abilities. 20% boost to the super, it's inconsequential. 25% splash damage is interesting, but not as good as a 15% splash damage on Special 2 with, say, the Fourth World Godly Mace, or even 50% splash damage on Special 1 with League of Assassin's Knives. Mm-hmm. And then how many seconds of invulnerability? What is it?
5?
Up to 5 seconds. That's really nothing, right? It isn't even enough time to build up more than a bar of power.
Yeah.
So it's not really doing much in the timing of it. You know, if you get it just right, maybe you protect yourself from a special, but that doesn't really do very much.
Yeah, so, it's very, very unlikely to make a noticeable difference and to change the tide of a battle.
So if you could equip this gear without taking up a slot, it might be useful. But other gears are just so much better that it's hard to justify the Batmobile over any other legendary gear. Mm-hmm. And even if you're Batman, and I can think of a lot of lower start, like 2.5 and 3.5 star gears, that would be much better use of your slot. Mm-hmm. So it's good for completionists, not very useful if you're actually fighting.
Yeah, agreed. In the store, we've got Ame-Comi Catwoman for $12.99 Canadian. It's 1 copy, won't unlock in your store. It's probably a clue for next week's challenge. It's not worth it, but for the price, the fact that it doesn't come with credits versus the packs that we were seeing that were more expensive and still didn't come with credits, it's a better deal than we've been seeing usually, but better does not mean good.
This is true.
We also have the character bundle Batman Universe for $27 Canadian, and that comes with Gaslight Batman and Flashpoint Batman. I almost said Gas Point.
And what's funny is that one of the gears that they offer, which would normally be good if you're going to offer gear, is going to be the Batmobile. Not because it's good as a gear, but good because normally it's hard to get.
Yeah.
So for a collector, but then they've reduced the value to you because they're offering it as this week's multiplayer reward.
Yeah, and we also have the Christmas packs, which are still here.
They should be gone soon, I think.
Yeah, not worth talking about because you've seen them for a while now, and we've talked about them before.
Yeah.
In Survivor, we have the LexCorp gear set until the 8th of January, 2020. Phantom Zone is finished, and Fight 62 is still broken. We have a link in the description to a Reddit thread from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and look at that to see what is likely up next.
Yeah, and based on last weekend being the one with Zatanna, the coming weekend should be Raven, Superman, and Arkham Knight. Raven being the important one because that was the one that was recently added to the rotation.
Moving on to the current glitches, just remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. We are Android only, so we're only able to confirm these glitches for Android. And this is normally where we'd say, spoiler alert, nothing has changed this week, but that's not true. Do you want to get into it?
Yeah, so, and like we've done pretty consistently, we start with the significant not working glitches, and that's where the change is. The biggest change in a while is that the free energy without having to watch the video. Not only is the glitch gone, the button is gone.
Yeah.
It's not just grayed out, there's a blank spot where it used to be. And if I didn't know better, I'd say the timing is a little suspicious. It's less than a month after we posted a video about how to exploit it, and they've removed the button. Mm-hmm. And after, is it 9 months of no updates, we get the worst update ever. I mean, technically it's not an update.
Yeah.
But this is like the worst thing. If it hadn't been for the lack of any kind of meaningful updates in the last little while, this would probably be not nearly... Sorry, if we'd actually had some updates in the last little while, this would probably not be that significant, right?
Yeah, and it's also weird because, you know, the energy button, at least they're watching ads, right? You'd imagine even if you're taking advantage of it, I don't know how it works if we skip it, right? If they're not getting the ad revenue from that.
Right.
But it seems weird to remove it because there's not a lot of cost to them.
Well, it's, honestly, if Warner Brothers was actually paying attention to anything that we do, I wish they'd listen to some of our other suggestions instead.
Yeah. Might be generous to think that they're paying attention. Who knows?
So the other thing is there's no working glitch for credits that we're willing to endorse. We talked about it in a lot more detail in a previous episode of our P&Q and C&A&T, Season 6, Episode 9. The main point of it being that to exploit the glitch requires 2 devices simultaneously logged into one account. We can't and won't endorse that, only because that is a potential reason for having your account suspended.
Yeah. In terms of other stuff that you can't do, getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards, getting season rewards early, at least you can't do that on purpose anyways, and getting through the Phantom Zone quickly.
Yeah, all right. So if we talk about working glitches, we've been reduced to not a lot, actually. So when the Phantom Zone is around, which it's not this week, you can play it repeatedly by resetting it, which goes hand in hand with the challenge reset. And that challenge reset method is working and confirmed on the current challenge of Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman.
So there we go. The breakthrough glitch to let you play it repeatedly is still working. We've got in the description a potential solution from a viewer for people who are having trouble playing extra breakthroughs. We can't confirm whether this works since we're not having the same problem, but you can check that out for yourself if you want.
Yeah.
The airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. That's good for packs with random drops and last laugh tickets. It doesn't work in the Phantom Zone because that requires an online connection, although there might be a way to do a similar exploit in iOS to reset your Phantom Zone rewards.
Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges,
which is extra valuable now.
Yeah, no kidding. But always remember, bring your countdown clock back to normal before you're done. We suspect that might be the reason why some people, when they don't do that, why some people have been having trouble getting their challenges to show up on time.
There you go. And in between not working and working glitches, we have the promotion glitch, where you can promote characters that are still locked. Hasn't had the right conditions since update 2.14. It's not testable, not usable, but it has technically never failed.
Right.
So there we go.
Okay.
And to finish up, we have a Patreon, and we'd like to give a huge thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. That's people like Console Peasant and Edwoon, who are supporting us at the top tier Last Word, Shawn, Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, and Michael DeVries, who are supporting us on the credited level, and Chris Wolff at the gratitude level. Thanks so much for your support, and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.